Okay guys, so I have opened a Google Doc and my plan is to use this Google Doc in order to write my research paper, but first I have to make sure that everything is set up. Number one thing to remember is that you have to have 1-inch margins on your paper. Well, clearly this is not 1 inch. Our margins here are very, very small. So in order to check that, I'm going to click on File, and then I am going to go down to Page Setup. And you'll see where it says margins here, my margins are all set at 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to highlight those and change each one to 1. And then I might even set this as default because that's what Ms. Harbison would like all of your margins to be. And then I'm going to select OK. Make sure it's on portrait. That's generally what it defaults to anyway. So I'm going to go OK. So you can see my margins got a lot bigger. The next thing that I need to do is make sure that my full paper is double spaced. So to do that, I'm going to click on Format, and I'm going to go down to Line Spacing, and then I'm going to click on Double. So now when I hit Enter, I have an extra space between each line, which is exactly what I want. Remember, in MLA, everything is evenly double spaced. And so then I would go in and type the rest of my heading, which would be the course, and then the date, and then I could put my title, cool title. Okay? Now the other thing that I'm going to need to do is create a header. And you can do your header a couple of ways. So don't be confused. This is a heading. My header goes in the top right hand corner. So I can just double click in the top right hand corner. But I can also go to Insert, Header and Page Number, okay? And I'm going to click on Page Number, and I'm going to click this one because what this one does is it puts the header on every page except the first. All right, and so if I have to go and have a second page, so let me enter down and pretend like I have a second page. You see I've got my header there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it over. And I'm going to also, before it, type my last name. Okay, and so there I have my header. And that is that, and that should show up on each page now, which it does. All right, so the next thing that I want to do is make sure that I can create what's called a hanging indent. So I'm going to pretend this is my works cited page. I would just title it Works Cited. It's going to be left aligned, and for my Works Cited, I have to do what's called a hanging indent. So let me go over here and grab a citation. Let's do this one. It's very long. So if I copy and paste a citation in, okay, this is one that I wanted to use. Notice how all 3 lines are left aligned. Well, what I need to do for my Works Cited page is make sure that only the first line of every citation is to the left and the others have to be indented 1 tab. Now, if I just hit the tab button, that works on the first line, but it does not work on the second or third line. So what I have to do is put my cursor on the second line, and before I hit tab, I have to hit enter. So I'm going to hit enter and then tab. Okay, and then I'm going to have to do the same thing. Whoops. And I'm going to have to hit enter again on the third line. And that creates what is called a hanging indent. Okay, so let's do that again. All right, so here, if I just try to do tab automatically, it just tabs the first line, which is not what I want. So I'm going to put my cursor there on the second line, hit enter, tab, and then I'm going to go to the third line and hit enter again, and it'll line it up. And that's what's called a hanging indent. Okay, guys, that should be all you need in order to set up your formatting. Oh, font, sorry. Go ahead and select all, and then you're going to go to Times New Roman font, and we want 12 point. Okay, Now you're good to go. Happy researching. Thanks for watching.